picks up a first down.
And I'm going to go back to, we talked to our friends, Charles Bishop and Neely. They follow Jackson State football and having dinner with them. I mean, they said this team feels like nobody can score 3 times on them. 3 times. He didn't say if it was 3 field goals, 3 touchdowns. Prairie View has scored twice. Touchdown, field goal. That's how good this defense is. And, whoa, they are as good as advertised.
4th best in all of FCS.
It got to get to the point where whoever we're doing the broadcast that week of the game, they're going to have to sit down with y'all because y'all know us better than everybody.
Sure.
And y'all know some of the inside stuff
We do.
that I may not tell them because I don't trust them, but
Sure. Trust us.
trust y'all.
We appreciate that
We
trust.
appreciate that, Coach.
Much love, baby.
Are you ready for an upgrade? Then come see what we have to offer at the newly renovated Cadillac of Jackson. You'll be able to browse our wide variety of pre-owned vehicles with great prices. Plus, we've also got Cadillac certified pre-owned vehicles that have been tested, inspected, and ready to go. Our team is here and excited to help you with any of your vehicle needs. Visit today and find your next pre-owned vehicle at the brand new state-of-the-art facility at Cadillac of Jackson, Mississippi's exclusive family-owned Cadillac dealer.
Hey, it's Warren Sapp, number 99 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Whenever I look for Jackson State or Coach Prime information, I go to the Pregame Show.
Here at Cadillac of Jackson, we are excited to show you our brand new state-of-the-art facility. Inside our luxurious showroom, come and browse some of our newest models. When you purchase a new or certified pre-owned Cadillac, we'll have it detailed and waiting for you in our beautiful delivery bay. We've even designed a comfortable waiting room with free Wi-Fi to use as needed while your vehicle is being taken care of by one of our certified technicians. Visit today and find your next vehicle at the newly renovated Cadillac of Jackson.
Okay, so how long have you been coming to Stan's?
Since 1987. I forever loved Stan's Burgers because the people, they're real people. They help the community and their family own and operate. And the food, the quality, and service has always been phenomenal. And anywhere I'm at, I always recommend people to them. It's great food, and you get enough love for your money. If you need a good place to eat and you want a good environment to support the community and support the effort of the Jackson community, I recommend Stan's Super Burger to you because, like I said,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the Pregame.
And welcome into the pregame show. It is Big Head Weekend. It is homecoming weekend for Jackson State University.
Oh man, Chuck, you went Neely in the first 30 seconds.
I went in the first 30 seconds. I had to drop a Neely Elizabeth there. The pregame show tonight brought to you by Cadillac of Jackson. It's Bishop, it's Neely, and it is homecoming week, man. Of course, here in Jackson, here at one of our favorite hangouts, one of my favorite hangouts, 1198 Lakeland Drive, here at Churchill Smoke Shop. Man, it's a good midweek edition here of the pregame show.
Man, I love the midweek edition of the pregame show. it's just enough time where you've really gotten over the game. And just enough time ahead of the next one to get ready for it. So we always revisit the past Saturday and look forward to the next Saturday. But this is a special Saturday, Chuck, because it is homecoming. It's homecoming week. It is homecoming week. Homecoming is here. Chuck, how your DMs, man? Your DMs blowing up? Don't answer that, Chuck. Chuck, don't answer that now. Don't answer that, Chuck. You know Wendy watching. Don't answer that.
Yes, indeed, bro. No answering of that.
Hey, fun fact. I don't care. I'm gonna put your business straight. Fun fact. Chuck met his wife at homecoming.
I did.
Yeah. Chuck met his wife at homecoming.
It is that week.
Another fun fact. I was conceived at homecoming. Another fun fact. We just got all the homecoming fun facts tonight.
Well, I was conceived around the Alcorn game, so we are Jackson State. Who is swag? Yeah.
Hey man, it's just something about the homecoming and football season. The teams are strong, but the pullouts are weak.
Get into it before we go any further. Jackson State coming off of another great win this past week over Bethune-Cookman. 48-8 was the final score, and Shedeur Sanders, the Heisman Trophy candidate, Walter Payton candidate, 5 touchdowns in this game. There it is.
I had to do it like Kobe did it on the bench, you know.
Yes,
hey, 5 of them things, man. 5 of those things, 272 yards, 36 of 48. You know, last week I think he missed on 16. This week, missing on 12. Total offense for the team, 496 yards to Bethune-Cookman's paltry 158.
And not only was it a dominant performance on the offensive side of the ball, defensively, bruh, these cats get after you. 7 sacks in that game. The limited Bethune-Cookman another week where they limited the team to under 200 yards of total offense. I keep saying it, Dennis Thurman, we trust.
Under 200 yards of offense again, total offense again. Biggest run, got a 20-yard run got away. But still, even with that 20-yard run, 1.3 yards per carry for Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
So Chuck, I ain't that good at math, but let me see. Third down, that's mean you ain't game for 3.9 if you just did 3. Like you can't get first downs averaging 1.3 yards a run. You can't get across the 50. That means you can't score, and that's why you see a total like you see, because this defense, even though there were some times where it looked like Bethune was getting a little momentum, about to do something, it just does not convert to points. A lot of people think that Dennis Thurman's defense is built on stopping the run, but the truth is the defense's goal is to prevent points. They're not in till they're in.
Yeah, that's a great point. Jackson State limits Bethune-Cookman to 166 total yards, 39 on the ground, 127 in the air. And when you take a look at the totality of this game, they tied an NCAA record, if you will, NCAA record with another safety, man. I don't know if I've seen a game where there were multiple safeties in the game, but defense contributed to a safety. Special teams contributed to a safety. It was an all-around performance by the Jackson State team.
Well, you're telling the truth, Chuck. You haven't seen it because it tied an NCAA record, not a JSU record, not a SWAC record, not an HBC record. It tied a collegiate athletics record, 3 safeties in one game. So, man, that is getting after it. That is getting after it. That, when you bring down the ball carrier in the end zone or force them to kick it out the back to prevent a touchdown. I thought Christian Allen was going to get that one. He was ball hawking too.
I saw him
and it goes out the back. But so that was almost a 7-point swing instead of a safety. But beautiful performance overall by the offense. When you look at that first half, let's start with that first quarter. Coach Prime talked about starting fast. We got to get out. We got to stop being so sluggish on opening drive. And there have been some issues. You look at that Alabama State game, the bus delays. And getting there. But Coach Brett Bartolone said at the team meetings the other day, said that's the most dominant offensive first quarter he's ever been a part of as a player or coach. Wow. 21 unanswered points, 21-0 at the end of that first quarter.
Yeah, and that was a huge thing, and that's been a theme, a consistent theme in terms of starting off fast. Jackson State was finally able to really come out the blocks fast in this game. 21 unanswered points in the first quarter. Dominant performance again by the defense, setting the tone. And then, we continue going into the second quarter where the guys still getting after it. And what were your takeaways when you kind of take a look at that first half of play?
Normally we have, and we talked about this with Coach Prime, normally it's a tale of two halves because that third quarter, just opens up. There was some nuances to the game I really couldn't put my fingers on where the production just kind of stymied in the second quarter. You run off to just 21 points in the first quarter, but we only scored 9 in the second. Now, the beauty of it is we held them to 0 both quarters, first and second. But there seemed to be just a significant amount of time that went by between that last score in the first quarter and the first score in the second quarter. Still, you go in 30-0. And we talked to Coach Prime, at the half and half that clip and also his locker room. So let's pull it up. Coach Prime at the half from the Bethune-Cookman game.
This FAMU game.
Yeah. We got a couple penalties by two guys. One penalty by a guy last name Sanders and a pick by a guy last name Sanders. Back to back. Making me feel like a stupid dad.
30-0 still. We kind of had a bend but didn't break right there.
Yeah, we're playing well, man. I can't take them from the guys. They're playing well. The coaches are doing a wonderful job preparing our kids. The kids are going out there to execute. We just got to come out with the same passion and the same purpose and the same intensity.
Is that your battle, not to be complacent with this big lead?
We don't want to be complacent. We got complacent. I don't know when the last time we scored. It's been a while. We got to come back out with fire and intensity.
I believe.
I don't give a darn if it's 30-0. Should be at least 45-0. Don't get complacent with this thing. We came to dominate. Let's dominate and get up out of here. In the first quarter, they was tapping out. Everybody was falling, getting hurt. Not in the second quarter. Because we got complacent. Don't get complacent. Let's do this, fellas. All right.
Go out there fucking around, y'all. Amen. Go out there fucking around.
Fellas, before the game, I talked about being disciplined. We've been doing a pretty good job, and I'm proud of you. I'm not the one coach, to say 0-0. Ain't no 0-0. What's the score? 30-0. That's what it is. Ain't no 0-0. It's 30-0. Let's go out there and put another 30 up. Yes, sir. Let's put another 30 up. We got to be disciplined. We always say we got to be smart, tough, fast, disciplined. You know that. Discipline provokes opportunity. Some of you guys going to get in this half that hadn't played a lot. It should be no drop off because you're not second team. You're not third team. This is just your opportunity. That's all it is. You ain't no backups. This is just your opportunity. All right? So go in there and be the dog what you're supposed to be and let us watch this film and have a choice that we got to make next week. Yes, sir. We good on that? Yes, sir. Well, let the music play.
Neely, one of the things that continuously impresses me about this coaching staff, they keep their foot on the gas at all times. I mean, it is remarkable to sit back and watch and listen. There is no sense of complacency whatsoever with this coaching staff because they are constantly keeping their foot down.
Man, you nailed it. When you look at where they've been, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is an NFL Hall of Famer. What he accomplished as a collegiate player as well, and also in NFL, there's just no settling. I mean, you would think when you listen to the tone and tenor at the half that we were down 30-0.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, what opportunities did we miss? what got away from us, what can we do better. There's no real celebrating the score. There is an acknowledgement of the score that it's not 0-0. It's 30-0, and he said that. And so let's go out there and put up another 30 more. 12 shy of doing that. We did add 18 to it, but it was really the reverse of our typical games. Typically, the third quarter is our big performance, and that the first two. But we flipped it, went out 21-0 in the first, and only scored 18, in the second half.
Do you think there, with regards to the second half, that after starting so fast, that a little bit of malaise kind of settled through the team?
Well, that's what I asked Coach about it. I asked him that at half, how do you prevent that? How do you prevent, up 30-0, you're not in a dogfight, how do guys stay hungry? And one of the things that happened in the second half of this game was some of those guys on the depth chart that travel were able to get some reps. And there's not a significant drop-off in our talent level, but there is some ring rust in the talent level because those guys might not get a lot of game speed snaps. So I do attribute some of the funkiness to that. But the defense, man, once again, we gave up that big play that led to a score. But that third quarter was another shutout, 9-0.
Yeah, another shutout, 9-0 in the third quarter. Jackson State finishes this thing out 48-8. You had an opportunity to talk to Cameron Silman-Craig afterwards. Let's take a look at that.
Yes. We weren't as dominant in the second half as we were the first, but I'm still proud of our kids. They're working their butts off. The coaches are doing a wonderful job. Special teams, it was an all three-phase type of game tonight, and we're really proud of that.
Yeah, all three phases contributed. The run really took the heart out that team.
Well, we had to. We've been every now and then we get a little pass happy, and we got to start running the ball because we got some good physical linemen who can get the job done, and they proved tonight. How many backs played tonight? I think we had like 5 backs that played tonight. I'm really proud of that.
When you look at the turnover, whether it was on downs or some interceptions, that's something you want to clean up going into this home stretch.
Two made a couple mistakes that he don't normally make. He got to stay focused and turn into the game. We were going to take him out way before, but we wanted him to end on a positive note.
You talk about being dominant and not complacency. What's your message going into homecoming?
Consistency. We need to be consistent at the things that we do well. We need to be consistent with everything that we do well, and we got to go back to the drawing board and practice. We'll be out on the practice field tomorrow. Get it in.
Congratulations on the victory, I believe.
God bless, D. I love.
Cam, we got out of Jacksonville with a big victory over Bethune. How'd it feel?
You heard the name of the city, right? Jacksonville. We just came and did what we do, man. Took over the city for the. It was fun. It was time for us to dominate the game. We felt like we had not been dominating how we supposed to, so it was fun to get back to domination.
They got a little spark, or we let off the gas defensively in the second half. Is that something you guys want to work on to make sure we play 4 quarters of a dominant game?
No, definitely, because like Coach Prime, I always preach domination. Like we can't just be dominant. Sometimes we gotta be dominant all the time, and that's how we got an all-the-time dominant coach. So we just trying to follow his lead.
I believe.
Go Tigers, baby.
Big 2 won the Headache Gang CEO reemerged in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was more in the pass game today. I wanted to hit somebody, not somebody head off today, but I just didn't get the opportunity. So, next week I might. But I have some good coverage film from today, and that's what I need. Everybody know I can hit already, so, I just had to get some more coverage film on number 1. He's the best guy. He's one of the best tight ends in the FCS. So that's pretty much my day-to-day, just coverage.
And how's your body feel? How do you feel?
I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I can't really tell. I tore my ACL 6 months ago, but I'm back with a fast recovery, thank the Lord, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we back.
Next week is homecoming.
You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something great, you know what I'm saying? Big 2 on Headache Gang CO.
What Shiloh Sanders never at a loss for words.
I reminded Shiloh pregame, getting on the bus here to the stadium. I reminded him, I said, hey, Bethune is a game where post-game you went over there to take pictures with the opposing cheerleaders. He's like, oh, man, that's right. I got to do it. I said, whoa, I'm not reminding you to go do it again. I'm admonishing you as to not do that again.
Do not do it again.
So I asked him about homecoming, and of course, him and Cam are both excited about homecoming coming up, which we're about to roll into. But Shiloh said, you can expect something. You can expect
something. A dominant performance, offense, defense, and Neely, the third tier special teams. Another huge game for the special teams.
Yeah, as we wrap up that Bethune-Cookman look back, man, I really think that was one of the keys to that dominant first half and even dominant first quarter. You look at that first drive, we hadn't scored on an opening drive since FAMU, if I'm not mistaken. So Florida's been good to us. But it started with a big kickoff return. You know, Zay Bolden had 2 kickoff returns for 79 yards. One of those was on that return. Then you had a big run play, and then you had a scoring play. It was all put together there. You know, those 3 safeties. We had 1 punt. Oh, poor Sam, man. You know, we brought in this big time punter. Sam maybe gets punt 1 or 2 times a game. 0 field goals. Did make all the extra points. But here's a nugget for you. You're the stat man.
Go for it.
Sometimes we're in that box of too far for a field goal, too close to punt, and we go on 4th down. We were 0 for 4 on 4th down conversions at Bethune-Cookman.
That was my next note to really make a point out. 0 for 4 on 4th down conversion. And like you said, it's sort of that no man's land where a little bit too far for the field goal, a little bit too short to punt, but you want execution. Well, if you're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you know, one of those things that you got going for you too, man, and I'm trying to get in Coach Prime's head on this. In your back pocket, back of your mind, you know you got that defense. You know you got that defense. So, 4th and 3, you're about on the 40-yard line, and this team hasn't crossed the 50 on you. You just kind of you go into Riverboat Ron mode, and you gamble a little bit, particularly when you got a back like Savion and can do some check down and short passes to a Dallas Daniels or to a Kevin Coleman. So mathematically, when you look at the analytics, I know a lot of us out there just play conservative ball and get the points. It makes sense when you step back from it and go like, okay, we got this team down. You know, maybe our field goal kickers could get some reps in right there, hit or miss. But this team is built to get 3 yards, and this team is built to stop somebody from getting to extend the drive. So it looks strange that we are 0 for on 4th down conversions, but the score says it's working.
Score says it's working. And, you know, before we move on to Campbell, I did want to touch on the backs had another good day. You mentioned Savion Wilkinson, Santee Marshall, but I say, you know, they're androgynous. They do so many things well that you can't necessarily game plan for one certain something when they come in, because they all run in between the tackles. They can all bounce outside. And the big thing for me, they all catch the ball out of the back.
This is how he's describing our backs. Because this is Chuck Bishop describing our running back committee.
Running back by committee, you can't hone in on one thing.
Yeah, you don't know what you know. Prince was bad as hell, but you don't know what Prince was. And Prince was my guy. So Santee 10 carries, 71 yards. Savion 8 for 64. Shadur added 6 runs for 33 yards. So the ground game was there, man.
Yeah, other stats to note on the defensive side of the ball. Jeremiah Brown, he had 4 tackles and 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble. Niles Gaddy had a sack. John Huggins had a sack. Justin Reagan had a sack. Baron Hobson and Khalil Arrington all contributed to the sack party against Bethune-Cookman.
Man, you sound like Oprah giving out them gifts. You get a sack. You get a sack. You get a sack. You get a sack. Yeah. And Chuck, that's what happens when you stop the run.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a sack on a running play. So when you make a team become one-dimensional because they got to catch up and they can't run the ball, they start throwing the ball. And now they got to wait for receivers to get downfield. And so it's either going to be a coverage sack or a defensive line or pressure sack. But either way, you're going to eat.
No doubt about it. All right, let's turn the page. It is a new week, and the Campbell Fighting Camels come into Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium this Saturday. And I tell you what, Neely, the eyes of a lot of FCS is watching Jackson, Mississippi this weekend for whatever reason.
Man, you can say the haters, man. You know, look, let me tell you something, Chuck. You see, you always go politically correct.
Almost back over my camera.
You know, it's a bunch of people that's thinking this is the one. Because now these are the same people who said FAMU was the one. And then there was a shiver down the spine of the SWAC after week 1. Because it's like, my God, if they did that to FAMU, what are they going to do to everybody else in the SWAC? because that's the second best team, da-da-da-da-da. Well, now everybody is all in on the Campbell Camels, that they can come in here because they are designed and built similar to us. Keep in mind, we talked about this last spring when the schedule came out. They were right behind us in recruit class rank.
Exactly.
Now, one of the difference, that coach has been there 10 years, and he's done a lot of growth from high school. So a matter of fact, their cornerback, and we're going to get into numbers and names, he's been with them all 4 years. So they got that kind of experience. I like our odds, Chuck.
Yeah. I talked with a couple of analysts today, and they said one of the things that jumps out with regards, especially on the defensive side of the ball, they got big corners. So that'll be, some matchups to kind of take a look at with regards to our receiving core going against this Camel corners. But I want to start on the offensive side of Camel. And let's do this, and let's make sure we put this out there for Jackson State fans. Nobody is overlooking this Camel team. This is going to be a great football team. Like you said, they're built for games just like this. They're trying to crack into the top 25. They are a tough physical team. We've seen them earlier this season run roughshod over a MEAC opponent in North Carolina Central, a team that a lot of us are looking at that could possibly come out of the MEAC to be the Celebration Bowl representative. So Camel has already thrashed them. So this is going to be a tremendous game. We start on the offensive side of the ball. Everything starts with their quarterback, Hajj Malik Williams. He is the Big South Player of the Week. Had a tremendous week this past week, going 26 of 35, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they are 3 wins in a row. I do want to point out that their 2 losses came to teams similar to ours. Those 2 losses were also on the road. So they haven't been traveling well. And their quarterback, you're right, he is the heartbeat of their team. He drives their numbers. He has probably just 10 more runs than their running back has. He's similar to Jalen Jones that we faced in Bethune-Cookman. He's going to make that 1 read, maybe 2, and if it ain't there, he's gone. He's
gone. Exactly.
And so the discipline from our linebackers, the eye discipline to not try to guess, because they run about 23% or so out of RPO and their success rate on it. So he's gonna look like he's gonna give that thing and make a decision. You could try to second guess your abilities and guess ahead and guess wrong, and he's gone. Or you stay disciplined and wait for the play to develop and trust your abilities and make the play. But he's gonna run the ball, Chuck.
No doubt, he's gonna run the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, I talked to a few of my friends over there who cover the Big South, and they say Brevin Allen is a young man, defensive end. He is a defensive player of the year in the Big South, coming back for his senior year. He's starting to get on track. 3 sacks this past week against Robert Morris. He's put a lot of pressure on their quarterback and only did it in the first half. He reminds a lot of people of James Houston, who played for us last year, but he's a guy who gets after the quarterback.
Yeah, and as well as number 34, name escapes me, and I'm always better with numbers because I can visualize it. I'm sitting here watching film like I can't see the name on the back of the jersey. Hey, man, swag. You ain't got HD. I'm watching this stuff at 640 or something. But I see linebacker number 34, Peyton Award finalist with Shador last year. He's another guy to watch. They're not really a blitz-heavy team like our beloved Dennis Thurman throws everything at you. They don't blitz all that much, but he's a guy that they count on to make plays from the linebacker position. He ain't no 45 Aubrey Miller, but he is that guy. So they got a strong defense. They have given up some run plays. So I feel confident about our run game and what we can potentially do on the ground, which is going to absolutely open up our pass game.
No doubt about it. You saw him earlier in the clip. Shiloh Sanders was coming back from injury, moved well this past game. There's another debut that's going to happen, homecoming. Travis Hunter, or I shouldn't say debut, but we'll see him again. And talk a little bit about the impact of what he could potentially do. We saw it earlier against Florida A&M in limited action. He was able to shut down one side of the field. But Travis Hunter, fully healthy. We'll see what it looks like this Saturday.
Yeah, Travis is as advertised, man. He's just that guy. And even, nursing that ankle, he is still at 75, 80%, leaps and bounds above and beyond other folks in that skill level. I look for him to participate, this weekend. We'll see how much, how often he's still easing back into things. He's had a couple of weeks of practice now. He did dress at Bethune-Cookman, did not go out on the field for game time reps, but looked real good in his pregame mechanics. So he has been practicing this week as he did last week, and I don't think it's going to be too long before you see a totally different defense than what you've had out there in the past. True is going to be back at defensive line. Shiloh is working back into game shape. As he said in the clip, he plays some to do some coverage things, but we're not there for the whole game. Then when you get a Travis Hunter over at corner, that allows you to take a John Huggins, who's been going to safety, move him down the linebacker. You just create an environment where now you truly got 11 of your best guys on defense on the field at the same time with speed and power. Whatever film you had on us, FAMU through Valley, for instance, that's out the door when you get into November, because it's a whole new core group of guys out there.
Whole new core group of guys adding on to this number one in the nation defense. This defense is only surrendering 180 yards per game. A couple of stats to throw out at you to chew on. Jackson State, they currently lead the nation in sacks. 25 sacks going into this game. On the offensive side of the ball, Shedeur Sanders, he's number 3 in the nation in passing.
No, let's start the defense first. Because I'm finna go to the Neely I told you so book. I got to go there once again. I see the comments, man. Y'all done told me to read the comments, so I done started to read the comments. When I talked about this defense and that we were going to once again lead the nation in sacks, everybody was saying, but we lost James Houston. No way that's going to happen. I tried to tell y'all, the way this scheme is drawn up under Dennis Thurman and the talent level that we have absent James Houston, now you got more guys that could get multiple sacks a game. Here we are, 6-0, the first time since 1983 that we have been 6-0, Chuck.
Say that again.
The first time since 1983 under W.C. Gordon, and that was midway his career, early midway, that we have been 6-0. So now we got some guys, much love and respect to Coach Hughes Judge, much love and respect to Big Daddy Carson, much love and respect to W.C. Gordon. But it was in 83 the last time that W.C. Gordon did it. We are 6-0, Chuck, and that hadn't happened since 1983. And when you look at the offensive numbers of your QB1, Shedeur Sanders, 3 in the nation, you look at this defense, number 1 in the nation. You look at the sacks and the pressures and the hurries that we're getting. It is what it is, and Neely tried to tell you so.
It is definitely a special group looking to continue the winning ways going against Campbell for homecoming. Neely, as we get ready to close out, man, any plans for homecoming, bro?
Are you familiar with Denzel when he was a pilot in the movie Flight?
I am.
Talk to me Monday, and I'm going to say I drank. I drank heavily on those days. Just like Denzel said it in front of that hearing. Yeah. That's right.
I gave you softball.
You did. Yeah, this is grapefruit league, baby. Put that over the fence. Hey, Chuck, one thing I want to point out, because, we do the deep dive on these teams on game day, because we ain't trying to get them time to adjust to what we know. I will say this about those Camels from Campbell, the Campbell Camels, the Fighting Camels. Chuck, how many plays do you think they ran in their last game? Just give me a number.
We'll go with 65 plays.
And Chuck, that would be about right. Except we're talking about the Campbell Camels.
You're correct.
101 plays.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, they are up tempo, y'all. And that's why this defense was built the way it was built. 2 regards. 1, internally. With the offense under Brett Bartolone, if we score fast, that means the defense is right back out there. So you got to have depth and be conditioned. So you recruit and you bring in a new strength and conditioning coach in Mo Sims out of Georgia. Now you're facing a team of 101 plays. If the offense does 101 plays, that means your defense did 101 plays. You got to be in shape. Now, how we stop tempo is stop the run, get off the field on 3rd down, and that breaks that up. Because now clock becomes an issue and you can't really run tempo like that. But these guys are going to try. Hey, man, now here's the downside. If we got swag refs be slow spotting the ball even for us. because sometimes we try to run a tempo and the ref is like looking at the popcorn man. It's like, looking at the J6 like, man, put the damn ball down and start the clock. We're trying to go. Nevertheless, you can't find me for criticizing officials. I don't work for Jackson State University. I'm good. Nevertheless, it's a tempo team we're facing. Tempo. They're going to try to come out and play fast. So that means we got to get set and lined up on defense, alignment, assignment, technique, be ready to go. 101 plays last game.
101 plays. Man, that is playing at breakneck speed. You mentioned alignment, assignment, tempo. Guys got to be ready, got to be and you mentioned linebacker eye discipline. That's going to be huge in this game. But we'll get into that deep dive on this Saturday as a pregame show. We'll get you ready for Jackson State versus Campbell, 2 o'clock kickoff from Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium. And you see our sponsors there on the screen. Cadillac of Jackson. Pregame show is brought to you by Cadillac of Jackson, Mike Chambers and Gaylor, the project architect, Amber Slaughter, and of course, BioSteel. And I'm coming from the palatial home of Churchill Smoke Shop. Stop by. Get your smoke on the way to the game. Get your smoke after the game. Churchill Smoke Shop, baby.
And I got to tell you, Chuck, I love me some Churchill Smoke Shop, and we started off this show talking about summer babies made it during homecoming, and, the team being strong and pull out being weak, and you're back on that Churchill couch. I would just say you might want to watch where you sit. Make sure it's been flipped over clean, because ain't no telling you what's going to happen on that couch.
Why do I throw softballs for you to just go Aaron Judge on?
Man, these are public service announcements, man. The people need to know you went back into that back room at Churchill. You just sat on that couch thinking everything was hunky-dory. I'm just trying to let you know, dog.
Thank you. No better place to put a pin in it than right there. Bishop Neely, the pregame show. We'll come back to you Saturday. We'll go to the deep dive of it. The meat and bones of this football game is going to be a great one. Neely, closing comments.
Hey, man, Saturday, we're going to get into it. It's going to be homecoming. Chuck and I will not be too hungover from the day parties and the night parties on Friday night. We're going to get into some personnel groupings and some tendencies that Campbell likes to do and what they do out of those sets, give you names and numbers to look for. So when you watch the game live, in person at the vet, or on TV or streaming, however you're going to watch it, you'll be like, oh, damn, that's that play they said was going to happen.
Yeah, how about that? Oh, the inside access. Got to love it. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. It is Bishop, it is Neely, it is the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll see you Saturday, folks.
And wash your comforters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the pregame.